Oh my gosh. Welcome
Victoria
to book club. We're gonna have such a good time. I'm eating fruity snacks. Tori's drinking her what? Trying to get us to get a good laugh. It's fine.
Getting emails from somewhere.
Women's advocates. I got the same email. Their quarterly report, Aspen. Everybody show love to our Aspen. He's our intern.
Hi.
Hello. Our Aspen.
Our Aspen.
We've claimed him.
One of us.
Cannot get this ponytail under control.
You got this, girl. Ooh.
The dancing makes it easier.
I had to do something with my hair because the rain has made it atrocious.
Yeah, it's a mess.
So it's just frizzy and it's going to be a thing. I've got a baby shower to go to tomorrow and I'm just not looking forward to it because it's going to be like, oh, Zoe can't be cute tomorrow? Cool.
It'll be cute, just fluffy.
Looking like a Hermione in the first few movies of Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here.
We're now going to spend the entire time coming up with theories for the White Lotus.
Yay, Tori. Let's watch that show. I haven't.
I thought that's the voice you were doing. I thought you were doing the mom on White Lotus.
No.
Because she sounds just like that. Thought you were doing your Parker Posey.
No. She sounds like that?
Yes. Have you not seen all the sounds going around? Like, Piper, no. Tsunami.
No. Tsunami.
Buddhism.
I am a practicing Buddhism.
No, she doesn't want her to be in the Buddhism.
No.
No.
You cannot be a Buddhist. No.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't want her living at the meditation center.
Oh, okay. No, I have on my TikTok, it has been, the Righteous Gemstones, and there's like, there will come a payday, hallelujah. There will come a payday someday, and then there's been, Mama told me not to, I did it anyway, misbehaving. Aspen's face right now is, it's making fun of, religious televangelists. And it's the guy from, what is his name? He is in so much. Walter, he plays the ghoul in the Fallout show. Walter Goggins.
He's also on White Lotus.
No way. Okay.
He is.
I love him. I love him. And then
you need to watch White Lotus.
In Sons of Anarchy, he plays, what is her name? But he's like in full drag and he's gorgeous. I love him.
I love Walter Goggins. He's so talented.
Very talented. He's psycho.
Yes.
His house has signatures from like different celebrities. And he had one from Joan Crawford. And when the people redid the stain in the room, they covered up Joan Crawford's name.
How dare they?
I know. And like Joan Crawford, oh my god. We need to read Mommy Dearest one day. Because I love that movie so much.
We'll add it into the bucket.
It is so good. Black Scandal, y'all. If you have not seen that movie, please watch it. Because ironically, that's my mom's favorite movie. Ironically. That's that and Gone with the Wind is one of my favorites. But I can just turn on Mommy Dearest and like hyperfixate and like get stuff done. But it would be a very good book for us to read, because Joan Crawford is crazy.
Correct.
Do you have any pop culture news, Tori? We always do pop culture news.
Well, White Lotus and Survivor are taking up like 90% of my brain right now.
Do you see the guy?
Yes, Joey!
They were so cute! Literally, Aspen, my parents have watched Survivor since the first season of Survivor.
Yes.
It has always been a thing. She is on the spectrum, and they were on the same team. They separated them, and they let the guy go over and like hug her and like calm her down.
Because she was like having a meltdown after she won a challenge.
And she was great. I was like, ah!
And like, I've been catching up because it's like I saw that on TikTok and I was like, oh, I think I have to get back into Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been watching it and it's like he has been so supportive of her the entire time and it's just like, if they don't make it to the end, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Mm-hmm. It was so sweet.
Oh.
And like that's what Survivor like I think that's what Survivor should be about.
Yes.
Instead of like people
Mhm.
just being like, oh, I've got the idol,
Yeah.
yay! I'm gonna go like hide it and double cross everybody.
Mhm. I need to tell you my brilliant idea.
Okay. Are we having
Okay.
Survivor at the shelter?
No, but it is Survivor adjacent.
Oh.
Okay, since the world, I have to be careful what I say now. The world is happening around us,
Mhm.
and social programs are being actively just like ripped to shreds.
Mm-hmm.
What would be beneficial to us and also to Hollywood would be for them to capitalize on this and try to make themselves look good.
Non-profit Survivor.
Yes. Oh, it doesn't have to be Survivor. It could be like Big Brother. It could be Amazing Race. It could be some
I
other
would
like
go
reality
on
show.
Big Brother.
But like if every contestant were from a nonprofit, and here's my other part of the idea is you have like this sliding scale of like reward. So like the longer you're in the game, the more of a donation goes directly to your program that you're there with. And then they'll like eventually match the top prize with whoever wins. So it's like not only do they get the prize money,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like the organization also gets a giant donation. Because we know we are not paid enough. So if I could win Survivor, I would win Survivor. I'd take that money. But it'd also be great if they match it and it makes the
Mm-hmm.
broadcasting station channel look like so generous and wow, people care so much. And they could have like stuff about donating to the different organizations when they like have the little name card for the person come up and people could be like, wow, I'm so generous because I watched Survivor.
I feel like that would be
Mhm.
so much fun.
Right?
I would love that.
Mhm.
But I would also be scared because Big Brother has had some really crazy people on it. Because
Mhm.
me and you have talked about this before.
Yes.
That guy who was like trying to.
Mhm.
Hi, Sophia.
You walked in at the perfect time.
Like, oh, he was like, do you remember? Like, it was on like really early Big Brother,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, they were drunk, and he like had the like knife and was
Yes.
trying to like,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, you're needed in the pod right now. I need
Yeah.
you to come over to the pod.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you out of here. And he
Mm-hmm.
was like, what? I was just kidding.
Yeah.
I was just
Mhm.
joking. As he's like actively
Mhm.
trying to murder another contestant on Big Brother. But yeah,
Big Brother is the show that I think I'd be really good at.
I think I'd be good at Big Brother.
Mhm. And I don't know that I'd be good at it, but I do really want to do Amazing Race.
I would not be good at an Amazing Race. Anything that has to do like,
Mm-hmm. My
I
issue
feel like
would
we
be
would
the
get lost.
bicycles. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know how to ride a bike.
You don't
and
know how to ride a bike?
I don't know how to ride a bike.
I was right. We had a bike donated to the store the other day, and it was like it had a little basket
Mhm.
on there, so I was like wheeling around the
Mhm.
store while. Before
I also
we
don't know
opened.
how to drive stick shift. So it's like
Really?
I have to go with someone who can drive stick and ride a bike.
Okay. Well,
And just like drag me along behind him.
I can be your team member.
Okay.
Yay! We would get lost though
Mhm.
because I am not inclined when it comes to.
That's
directions.
okay. I'm good at directions.
So it'd
We
be good.
make a great
Perfect
team.
Perfect team. It'd be good.
CBS, reach out.
Please.
Please, we need the money.
Mm-hmm.
We need the money, please. But like, how good of a season would that be?
That would
Be
be
so
very
good.
good. That would be really good.
Hollywood, come. I've got great ideas.
And other than so, just White Lotus and Survivor for you.
Yeah,
Is your man out of the military yet?
not yet.
How much longer does he have?
I think it's like June, July,
Okay.
somewhere in there.
We have to be careful about what we say about people who are in K-pop
Yeah.
because they'll come for us.
Yeah. Dare have half of a critical opinion and people will lose their mind.
Which I made your whole opinion
Mhm.
way worse.
Yeah.
Because like I was like,
Mhm.
oh well, I thought it would be
Yeah.
this, and you were like, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. It's like it could have gone
Yeah.
a whole other third direction. And it's just
Yeah.
like fixed. I do not critique the stuff that's in Korean because I do not speak it. But if you're gonna have your whole song in English, it's like that is open to interpretation that I am capable of interpreting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything else going on? We might get swept away by a tornado. We'll see what happens.
Jason Kelsey is a dad again.
Yes.
Yay! Go Jason.
We love the
Good for you.
Kelseys.
Brittany Broski released her first, well, she released a cover and her first song today.
Thought you were about to say her first mixtape. I was like, oh, fun.
No. That would be good though.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie got to listen to her on our way to Oklahoma, and he laughed so hard he cried. So I was very proud of him for that.
Mm-hmm.
Aspen's making, are they cat paws or puppy paws?
They're dog paws. I can show them.
I'm sure
Which phone is
Either.
one. They're both live.
Very cute. Yay!
I'm eating tuna.
Wow! Yay, Sophia!
Yay! Sophia's eating tuna! Yay!
Tuna!
It's pretty cute.
What did they call Jim? Big Tuna?
What?
They called Jim on The Office Big Tuna.
Oh!
I don't know.
You've never watched The Office?
I've never watched The Office. I've never watched Friends.
I thought you were saying Jin, like from BTS, and I'm like, wow, you really did get into K-pop. But it's Super Tuna instead of Big Tuna.
I haven't watched a lot of things.
Have you watched The Office and Friends?
Yeah.
Shame.
I've also never watched Scooby-Doo or SpongeBob.
SpongeBob? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, my new thing that I really
Did you
enjoy.
grow up under a rock?
A little bit.
Essentially,
A little bit.
I was raised in a cult, Tori.
He's not kidding.
Forgot that part.
He's not kidding. The little like sound bites that are gonna come from this already.
Yes.
It's like we don't even need to talk about the book.
No.
It's like we've got enough clippable things out here.
My new thing on TikTok, speaking of SpongeBob, there is a person on TikTok who dubs over SpongeBob and makes it German. And I can kind of understand German if it goes slow enough, but it's not even the fact of like, oh, this is challenging. Let
Is
me
it
see if I
like the
can understand.
actual German dub, or is it someone doing like a fake dub in German?
I think it's one of the two, but it's
Okay.
like the actual, like they're actually saying the...
Like it's the
lines.
actual dialogue, not
It's
like
actual
a parody
dialogue.
thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not the parody thing like the Bluey thing that I sent to Aspen. But it's an actual dialogue, and it just makes it so much more funny because they sound so much angrier, and it's just okay. But no, they're so that's my new thing. I found a girl that I showed you and Carrie this morning who sings rap music while playing the ukulele, and it sounds so good. And I made a really big Temu order before tariffs. So, yay! Did my thing. Got a bunch of Call of Duty merch. Yay!
Go team go!
Yay! Simon Riley pins, here we go.
Woo!
But it's fine. Let's talk about a book.
Yeah! Which one are we reading this time, Zoe?
Silver Flames.
Yes.
I have a really hot take
Ooh.
that I don't know if I can say, but it's a hot take.
Well, let's start strong. Let's hear it.
Okay, so my whole thing, because Thera, this baby, the whole thing is like, it's gonna kill you, and like, abortion clinics. Abortion, is this like a whole thing?
Well,
about,
she couldn't have made that choice because
Yeah,
nobody decided to
told
tell her what
that
the
she
hell was
pregnant.
going on.
Yeah, but if this whole thing, if this baby is going to kill you, why don't you just be like, or why can you not like, oh, I can make my clothes disappear. Let's make the baby a magical womb that it can stay outside.
It's like they literally have magic. They literally have healing powers. It's like, what do you mean it's impossible to do a cesarean?
Well, it's like Harry Potter wears glasses.
Yeah. But you can regrow bones.
Yeah. But
And it's
Harry
like,
Potter is blind, you know?
But it's like, the whole thing is, oh, well, she can transform into an Illyrian, but we're not going to let her because it might hurt the baby. Even though she literally already transformed from Illyrian back to, like, normal. To wingless, and it's like it was fine then. So it's like if the option is there could potentially be something wrong with the baby, or she will definitely 100% die. It's like, why not maybe take that risk?
Mm-hmm. Or just don't have the baby.
Yeah. It's like that
You're gonna tell me there's
whole
no like
storyline.
mystical herb that you can
Mhm.
just be like, put this in your tea, love,
Yeah.
and the baby.
Mhm.
Ooh,
It's like
No
they're
more- no more
advanced
baby.
enough to where there's
baby, go bye bye.
contraceptives for the men, but they don't
Yeah.
have that option.
Yeah. So that was my thought.
Mhm.
Like, if it's that the baby's that much of a problem,
Mhm.
and she doesn't even know she's gonna have issues and like
Yeah.
all of that.
Because nobody wants to tell her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all those stories you hear from people that, you know, were basically existing before the 1980s, where they would get like cancer and the doctor would tell their husbands, but they were not obligated to tell the person who had cancer. So it's like people just being on death's door and it getting exponentially worse because no one's going to tell her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Do you think she did that on purpose though, to like make you think about like social commentaries like that, or like we think everything else? It was just here we go.
I think it was just here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I think she wanted to have the big blow up of Nesta telling Farah.
Mm-hmm.
That way it would initiate the hike.
Mm-hmm.
That's my theory.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, what can we have that would make them mad enough that they have to flee and run away? Which the hype makes me mad. Basically,
Yeah, the whole
there's
book.
not a lot that doesn't
the
make
whole
me mad.
series.
All of my notes here are just me kvetching.
Well, kvetch. Let's start.
Okay. Where should we start?
I don't know. That was my big thing. Like, if it's this much of an issue, to like, there has to be something, or like, where you can have, if you can make your clothes disappear, you can make
Yeah.
snap the baby away,
Mhm.
or like snap the baby into like an Illyrian woman,
Yeah.
and like make it be a surrogate baby,
Mhm.
or like, there are so many options.
Okay, we've got less time because we were running late, so we'll just start at my kind of semi-organized chaos notes. Let's talk about the intervention of Nesta and how messed up this whole thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, she was coping in probably the most self-destructive ways, but it's like all of them
Mm-hmm.
have been through shit.
Yeah.
And they all, every person she talks to is like, oh, it took me 50 years, it took me 100 years, it took me 200 years to get past the horrors I have been endured. And it's like, it's been 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, oh, well, you need to get it together.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're coping too publicly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, y'all are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's the other thing too, is like, if she were being this self-destructive just like in private, like nobody probably would have done anything still. They would have been
Yeah.
just like, oh, well, handle it yourself.
Yeah.
It's fine. She'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like Elaine. Elaine is pretending to be coping better, even though we see
Mm-hmm.
in the last book, Farrah's like, oh, well, I recognize that look in Elaine's eye because I had that look and when I was going through it, and it's like nobody's doing anything to help her.
Mm-hmm.
She's just pretending to cope better, and it's like, it's gonna explode eventually, probably in the next book.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, if all of this were just happening behind closed doors, nobody would be doing anything to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
And Farrah even says, it's like, how are we supposed to be the rulers of this court if we can't control you? Because that's what the entire thing is about control.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, maybe you should try leading people by being people that people want to follow,
Yeah.
and not controlling people by locking them away in a house
Mm-hmm.
and like literally paralleling domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a chunk on that too somewhere. Yes. Because it's literally like a direct parallel to abusive situations. You're isolated and trapped in this house because they say she's not trapped, but it's like you've got to walk 10,000 steps to get anywhere. So clearly you are. She's forced to work at the library for no compensation. She's financially cut off. She somehow is allowed to make friends with Gwen and Emery, but she's isolated. Those are the only people she sees other than Cassian and Asriel. Feyre literally says the whole arrangement is to get her under control. Most, if not all of the plan was Rhys's idea, who actively hates her, and we have established is very controlling. It's like, ugh. That's one of those things where, like you were saying, was this intentional, or was it all just
I honestly don't know, like, all of these things, because I think I think she is one of those. She's great at world building to a point, and then it's like her brain just goes like off into left field, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know. Because I don't think something like this was intentional. Just, like, I don't think... Because you could make a whole commentary about Feyre's pregnancy and just, like, the, like, whole thing with Elaine, like, not wanting to be with their true mates, and, like, the whole thing with, like, Rhys's parents being, like, mates, but also, like, treating each other horribly, and, like, all of these different things. I do not think that she, like, does this junk intentionally. I think it's just, like, oh, this is gonna be good, and then people will, like, put too much into it. So...
It's like there's lessons I feel like she's trying to teach, like all the stuff about nutrition in this book, and exercise, and meditation. It's like there are lessons she's trying to make overtly clear. And then there's this stuff that we're picking up on that it's like, am I just thinking too much about this? Or is this intentional stuff that you're trying to make me see?
And some of it might just be because of the line of work we do, and we have to dissect this book series the way we are, that we're picking up on it. But I'm sure there are people who have, like, said stuff about the pregnancy. Yeah.
It's like...
And that sort of thing.
In English class, when you're, like, reading a poem, and it's like, why was the window blue? And it's like, well, was the window blue because they're depressed? Was the window blue because it just looked good in the house? Is it blue because they just like blue? It's like... How deep do we need to be getting here?
Yeah, because, like, the commentary, because what are the colors? Pink, blue, green, and red. Yeah, and it's like, I don't think those were, I think she was just like, here we go.
She was just naming colors she liked.
Feyre is a horrible painter. Here we go.
Speaking of, was it intentional? I have another note in here. Where was it? Oh, the age difference between Cassie and Nesta. Similar to Rhys and Feyre, it's like big age difference here. And it gets ickier when we think about the fact that there's a part of the book, I don't remember where exactly, but they were in training, and I think it was like right after Gwen started training with him. And Nesta's talking to Cassian, and he's like, yeah, I like Gwen. She's a good kid. And she, like, thinks to herself, yeah, because she's only 28, she is just a kid to him. And it's like, you're literally about to go have sex with this man. And you're younger than Gwen is, I believe.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh. And they talk about it again later, too. Like, someone else comments, like, oh, Nesta's still young and she's been through so much. Or she, I think there might be one of that. And then she has another moment where she's, like, thinking about how old Cassian is. And, like, oh, wow, he's been through so much. He's been alive for so long, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, we'll say it, we said it before, we'll say it again. It's like, these big age differences, you need to approach carefully.
Yeah, but with them, they're, it's, like, full set every time.
But anyways, my wild conspiracy theory, circling back around, is do we think that because at this point, 2 of the 3 sisters, potentially Elaine, but we don't know for sure which direction that's going yet, ending up with significantly older partners who hold positions of power is an on-purpose daddy issues thing since they all have a complicated relationship with their dad? Or is that just like, they've built this story and it's like, it's the dynamic that it is because of the pieces that are in place, but it wasn't intentional?
Maybe a mix of both. I could see it being a mix of both, because I could see it being like a here.
Yeah.
But I think that one's probably a little bit of a mix of both.
Mm-hmm. I just want to like take Sarah J. Maas's brain and be like, okay, how much of this was on purpose?
Come on the podcast.
Be like,
You know, she'd be like, oh, that was on purpose.
yeah, it was
That
all on purpose.
Everything I said. So you intentionally.
Yeah.
Yep.
You said you want a pink and red room.
Yep.
You're like, yep, that's what I want.
I would love to see like just like an art book of like Farrah's stuff, and it just all be like looking like 5-year-old doodles, and they're all just like, wow. But I don't think she's gonna do that, because I think she wants it to be like a whole thing where like, oh yeah, she's wonderful.
Well, what was it I saw the other day? There's some book out now that's like an add-on. I don't know if it's by Sarah J. Maas or if it's just like someone violating trademark, but it's either a cookbook, or a coloring book. Possibly both. That's like a Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't remember what the first one's called. I'm like, what are you? I think I might have seen both. So it's like the coloring book of all Farrah's paintings.
And you're only provided with like colors that Farrah's used. So blue, red, green, and pink.
Paint by numbers book. Oh my gosh, Sarah, call us.
We have so many ideas.
Yeah.
Please. We would make you so happy. We only need a little bit. But that would be great. Just the eyes. I saw the door frame. Cut them out and put them on your door frame today. Like those ugly tree eye things that people put. Idea right there. Ours, trademarked intellectually. That would be so great. I would, ironically, and they look like freaking googly eyes. Why do you have Halloween decorations still? They're not! They're from a Court of Thorns and Roses!
We're very dedicated to the fandom.
Be like those people who you like walk into their house and it's all like full size, like Jabba the Hutt and like Star Wars stuff. It'd be fun. We're all good.
Okay. Moving on to the next thing. Where will our wild tangents go next?
More ideas that Sarah's gonna steal.
Okay, I know I've talked about this on, like, in a video. I don't remember if we talked about it in the last feed or not. Sophia, are you dying?
Yes, but I'm okay.
Do you need more food or less food?
I need more food, but I'm eating my chips.
Okay. You've just not had an easy week.
No, I have not. It's okay.
What was I talking about?
Something you were talking about, and we didn't know if we talked about it already.
Oh, yes. Okay. Nesta's apartment building. If we could be here for 5 days, I could probably talk for 5 days about this book. Just complaining.
I'm letting you lead it because you have all of your notes,
Mm-hmm.
and like we got so many places last time, even though we were all like, so I'm letting you just lead, and then I'll make comments.
Letting the blind lead the blind.
Yes.
All right. So, Nesta's apartment building. Have we talked about that?
How it's ridiculous, and they totally like redid it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did that on live already?
Yeah.
Okay, moving past it because we've got limited time.
You can't move everybody, even
Yeah,
though they've had
it's
like
impossible
thousands
to
of years.
move. But we're going to condemn the building now and turn it into a homeless shelter
Yeah.
where I'm guessing all the people that lived in this building are going to go.
And now
Because-
are also in the homeless shelter
Mhm.
instead of, having value.
Because we're having the building condemned because it needs
so
a coat
horrible.
of paint and
And-
has squeaky
And
stairs.
squeaky floors.
Mhm. Therefore, we need to tear the entire thing down just so Nesta can't live there.
Dang, you'd have to tear down half of Russellville at that point. Arkansas Tech, you're condemned. Burn that place to the ground. Good
I
lord.
mean, there's a few places that need it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Witherspoon, you could just look at it wrong and it.
Yeah, it's like,
cause
you
an
know what?
electric
It's
fire.
it's a little sunny today. Crumbles.
Mhm.
Did I tell you about the elevator experience I had in there on Wednesday?
No.
Maintenance was in working on it when I got there with the panel disassembled, and he was like,
Fine.
"I'm done. Like it's hooked up. You can get on it." And
Are
I
you
was
sure?
like,
I don't think I want to.
I was like, I mean, if you're sure, because I've rode that elevator in worse condition.
Mm-hmm.
I am sure. And instead of just the odd like sounds, it was like physically shaking under me as it was going up. It was awful.
Lovely.
Love
Your
Witherspoon.
life flashed before your eyes.
A little bit.
My life has flashed before my eyes so many times in that building. It's not even funny.
Yeah. You look up and there's like the mold everywhere.
Yeah, the stalactite
Yes.
of mold. It's stalactites that are from the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the
I don't know
ceiling.
the difference. So
Or like the ceiling tiles on the first floor that are like
Literally caving
disintegrating.
in.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's not a health hazard at all.
No.
I'm trying to think of where I want to go next. Because there's so many directions
There's so many.
here.
That's why I'm like, you
This
have your
book is
notes.
so long. Okay. We touched on it briefly. Nesta and the trauma and the PTSD. How on earth did any of them think that it was just going to solve itself? When none of them solved it by themselves.
Well, no, but
It's like-
it's Nesta.
Farrah was literally suicidal a few books ago. And it's like, oh, she needs to be with the people, she needs love, she needs to be surrounded, blah, 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 blah. She needs to have a purpose, and it's just like nobody thinks Nesta needs that. We're just gonna let her drink herself into oblivion and hope it works itself out. Like, y'all. And what makes it even more annoying is that Reese and Moore set up the library for the priestesses. That was their whole thing. So it's like, you know what someone who has been traumatized needs. Because there's supposedly all these resources at the library.
Yeah.
It's like, then what are we doing here, guys?
Well, like, I think it's just because it's Nesta, because I think that, so I do have Nesta and Elaine hate, I do. I do. Like, they have some major issues. Why are you making your youngest sister
Yeah.
go and do all of these things and take care of your family? That's ridiculous. Like, you need to get off your butt and, like, go do some stuff. So, I do have some very,
Okay.
very well-placed dislike for them. And I think part of that is why Reese treats her that way, because I think he sees that, and I mean they have arguments about it and stuff like that for in the second book, right?
Yes.
But I don't know, like you, they are your responsibility now. You are taking care of them. You should be wanting them to, because you know if something happens to them, your life will spiral. So I don't get the. Like, we're not gonna do this. But I think that's why he's just like, I don't care. She can do whatever. And then they all baby Elaine.
And it's also a thing of, if you're saying that Nesta has all these problems because she's coping in such self-destructive ways with the drinking, with the random sex, with the gambling, it's like, if you're saying all these things, which are like primarily addiction issues, if you get down to the base of it, it's like, if you're saying this is the way you're going to handle addiction by locking her in a house and having her work out and volunteer, it's like, yes, those would be effective strategies if they were choosing it for themselves, but it's like, when we're talking about addiction, it's like, people have to hit rock bottom. They have to choose to want to be better. You can't just, like, force it upon them and then, oh, well, hope it works.
Yeah.
That, or you can go die. Like, that's just not effective.
Mm.
Okay. Randomly jumping. But still within the same thing. Reese says something that makes Farrah mad.
Mm-hmm.
And Cassian talks to Reese about it, like, oh, well, she's gonna get him later, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I'm curious, since we have had like a year at this point
Mm-hmm.
between Frost and Starlight and now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a year that they have really been married.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how much are they fighting now? Since they did not have the healthiest relationship to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
How are things in Reese and Fairyland?
I don't.
Because from Cassian's point of view and Nessa's
Mhm.
point of view, it sounds like they're fighting a fair amount.
Yeah.
And they just don't actually talk about it or deal with it. They just sort of like have sex until they feel better.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, probably a lot. If
Mm-hmm.
your coping mechanism is sex.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be curious in like the next book, since we did have so much of it from
Yeah.
Farrah's perspective, and then we jumped perspectives in this one. It's like, is the next one gonna be back in Farrah's perspective so we can catch up on what we've missed, or is like the bits and pieces we've got supposed to be like, oh well, that's enough. You know what's happening there.
Oh. I don't know, because I feel like once you start getting into other POVs and stuff like that, you kind of stick to it.
Mm-hmm. But it's like, we've talked a few times. It's like reading these books through. It's like I did not have beef with Reese up until I got to this book, because it's like seeing him from Nessa's point of view. It's like, oh, this guy might actually be a jerk. You're right. That is a problem.
Yeah.
So it's like, are we ever going to get back to that point of view if the goal is still for these people to be like our two main characters that we love and support?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it, are we eventually leading down to a point where it's like, oh, it's just going to go down and these may not be the heroes that you think they are? It's like, which
Well, she's
direction are
already
we
done that with
going in
Tamlin.
this series? Mm-hmm.
Because, like, Tamlin, you get this, like, the whole book, the whole first book is like, oh, fall in love with Tamlin, fall in love with Tamlin. Even though we talked about, like, there were very big issues there, but there are very big issues here.
Exactly.
And you've already laid the groundwork that, like, fated mates don't have to treat each other nicely with Reese's parents and now Elaine and Lucian. So
I just want to know what the goal is here, Sarah. It's like, where are we supposed to be going? Are we supposed to be on their side or are we not? Because it's like... You good?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Your blood disagrees.
your blood disagrees.
It takes time to go up.
Okay. What was the thing?
What was the plan here?
Yeah, what is the plan here? It's like, are we supposed to be rooting for Reese and Farrah still? If we're going to be going from all these other perspectives
Is
and
that
like
the
poking
character
holes in it.
betrayal? Is them?
I don't know.
Well, like, there's supposed to be a huge character betrayal in the next book. So is it them? They just turn out to be evil? Because, like, we've already said, like, that they, like, there are so many issues with Reese, because it's like you have Valaris, which is like this utopia, but then you leave the rest of your people in, like, utter darkness and let these horrible things happen. Like, is that just what he wants in reality? And he's just trying to, like, he has Valaris as, like, a... Because, like, who says that the Bone Keeper, or whatever the crap his name is, I can't remember, like, didn't say, make this utopia for your one true mate. Yeah. And impress her. And so he made Valaris to be like, look, I'm a good guy. I'm a wonderful guy. Ooh, here. We can have this utopia. Just to get Feyre. And now he's going to be like, get down with the sickness. And, like, does evil shit. I wish we still had our picture. Do you have the picture of Reese? Just like Reese.
I do somewhere. It's over there.
Reese flying around with his big baby arms. It's fine. But maybe that's the big character for Trip.
We just need the next book. I need to know what the plan is.
Is that coming out soon?
I have no idea.
It's gonna be like no.
In 10 years.
Yeah. Dude who wrote Game of Thrones. 30 years later, here you go.
Talked about that already. Okay, let's talk about, since they are the big relationship this book, Cassian and Nesta. What are your thoughts on their dynamic? Well, let me start with this. Where do you think they would fall on the relationship spectrum? Because that's something we've talked about a few times before.
Toxic. I mean, be toxic. Just because, I don't think it's fair that, Cassian just has to, oh, okay, she's gonna say something horrible to me.
Yeah.
Every time he's around her. Because she, why would you want to be that way to people?
Exactly.
But, why would this person's coming to try and, check on you and, all of that? Why are you intentionally trying to, make everybody hate you?
Yeah.
And maybe that's a coping it's a coping mechanism thing, a safety net, if everybody hates me, I won't get my feelings hurt and have to get hurt again, but, still, you're kind of stuck with these people.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life. I mean, I guess she could go off and go and do her own thing, but you're staying. You're immortal now, basically. Go do your thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to be here.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely toxic, if not towing the line into abusive. Because there's a few points where it's just, the communication is just so bad, and it's, so intentionally hurtful, and it's, primarily Nesta saying shit. But Cassian gets some shots in, too, and it's just, why are you even together? It's why would you want to be with someone who makes you feel worse about yourself? And it's he has so many moments in this book where it'll be in Nesta's point of view, and he'll say something vulnerable and then immediately put his walls up because he's waiting for her to say something, and then she gets her feelings hurt, oh, well, why would he think I'd say that? It's maybe the 10,000 times that you've done that.
You've been horrible to him.
It's maybe all the examples of proof that you will do this.
Wasn't there supposed to be a thing where Cassian and Azriel hook up with Nesta, but she took it out of the book?
What?
Isn't that a thing? I think that was a thing. Aspen, do you know? You're into fantasy stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know there was a part where Nesta's fantasizing about, a threesome.
But I think it was supposed to actually become a threesome when she took it out. Because I've seen that somewhere.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that would muddy the waters even more.
Very much so. And because I've seen, people literally, writing about how there was supposed to be this, and it's just not, she took it out.
Because what we need is more people in this, love pentagon they've got going on.
Yeah.
Which, that's another thing, totally unrelated. The crumbs that we get of there being something between Azriel and Gwen, it's just she has been through so much, leave her out of this. It's his thing is gonna be messy enough as it is, with him, more Elaine, Lucian, Grayson. It's there's a lot of players in this game already. You do not need more.
Yeah.
It's give the girl a break. Okay, we talked about the Cassian Nesta age difference. The horrible communication. Which, that is really the pitfall of their entire relationship, this entire book. It's so much stuff would have been solved so much faster if they literally would have just talked to each other.
Well, everybody, not just them, but everybody.
it's like they spend all this time where it's like they're both getting so butthurt about, oh, well, they just want sex and he's just leaving right after sex. And it's like, why would he do that when I said exactly the thing that I told him I wanted? And it's like, talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Use your words. Which him doing that makes me so mad at him.
Mm-hmm.
Like leaving immediately, because it's like, boom, out of there. And it's like, what an asshole.
Mm-hmm. But it's what you wanted.
Yeah. And gonna manipulate you into admitting you like me by treating you like shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is not a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
I see so many people being like, oh, relationship goals. If it's not Reese and Farrah, it's Cassian and Nesta. And it's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
This is so toxic. Do not do this.
Mm-hmm.
It also just like sets such a dangerous precedent because it's like, how many people are going to end up in dangerous situations because they think their dynamic is like, so, ooh, they're so mean to me. It's so Cassian and Nesta.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're thinking, oh, well, it's because this worked out for them. It's true love. They're going to learn to love me and they'll completely change their personality. And it's like, no. Babes.
That doesn't happen.
They're going to get so much worse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the same thing that happened with like 50 Shades of Grey in the kink community.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my God.
Which, I'm sorry, Tori, we're never reading those books. I can't.
No.
I can't.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely not.
I feel like we would both have worse crush ups than we did when we read frickin' Midnight Sun.
Oh, Lord. The people we've made mad reading these books, it's like, I can only imagine how many people we've made mad reading those.
Karen's coming out.
I
read that book and watched the movie!
Yeah. And it'd all be people that are like older than us, and so it's like, I'm gonna call your manager! Mandy's gonna get so many emails! So many phone calls!
I'm not going to name names via the internet, but she was in the middle of Target, and those books had come out, and the movie adaptations had happened, and her friend group was reading it, so she said, I'm just going to pick this up in Target, and she opened it up to a page that was talking about, I don't know if I can say the word, but I'm going to do the gesture, on, and she was like, why would you do that? What is the interest? Was having a full-on meltdown in the middle of Target with her daughter, and was like, why would somebody want and was doing in the middle of Target and trying to like logistically think about how to in the middle of Target. In the middle of Target.
That's hilarious.
Why would you want to do that? And she's just in the middle of Target. That ended up becoming a very main topic of my bachelorette party. So when we were playing games and stuff, the would come up because we were doing like Cards Against Humanity, and this game that was kind of like categories, and it just became a running joke. But yeah, there you go. And she's so sweet. She's so sweet. So like, just imagining her trying to like logistically be like in Target is great. It's great.
I'm not sure how to move on from that.
Sorry.
Okay, wild left turn.
As usual, though. We're staying on brand.
Okay, the one point that I can give Cassian and Nesta, they do practice consent, though.
Yeah.
So that is good. That's about the only point, though. can we talk about the hike?
Go for it.
That part of the book made me so mad the first time, and it made me so mad the second time. Because it's just like, the entire thing is just insane. Because it's like, this is happening at all because Reese decided not to tell his wife that she's dying.
Mm-hmm.
So, Nesta does. And Reese is like, oh, well, I'm going to murder your sister now. You better get her out of town. Which, abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go, and Farah mind talks to Cassian and was like, hey, you bring her home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad she told me. It was messed up that you guys didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bring her home right now. And Cassian's like, actually, no, I'm not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to instead take this girl who is clearly more depressed than she has ever been, having a mental break, suicidal, and I'm going to drag her through the woods for days, not eating, not drinking, and climbing over literal mountains, and then be shocked and surprised when she has a full mental break and starts sobbing, gaslight her, and be like, oh, well, we can walk through as many mountains as you want. We can spend as many days in silence as you want as long as you talk to me. It's like, you were not talking to her. You would not acknowledge her. You would not look around. You were treating her like shit the entire time. And then want to act like it was her fault.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to strangle him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Do you have any thoughts, or am I the only person who gets wildly angry about this?
No. I agree. Because, like,
Okay.
I just, this whole book, like, the whole series, having to read through it again, and just seeing how crazy they are relationship-wise with the decisions that they make. And, like, this especially, I don't know why anybody would think that's a good thing. Like, let's go and just, like, torture ourselves and go do this and then blame you for it.
It's
So
just
no,
like,
I get it.
ugh. And then how it's like he literally sees every single time how upset Nesta gets anytime there's a fire. And he has no questions. He does not even attempt to put two and two together. He's just like, what do you mean you've been traumatized by this? Every time you flinch when there's a fire in the room, you mean there was something going on? Even though he pretends to know her so well and is like, oh, I know why she doesn't want to train at Windhaven. It's because she's too proud. She doesn't want to be embarrassed. I pick out the best Christmas gifts for her because I know her so well. And it's just like, but you could not see the writing on the wall in front of you. Ay, ay, ay. Do I have anything else about them two? I mean, I probably do in my other notes, but it's like, it is taken, this book is so long and there's so much going on that it took me a really long time to get my notes together, and I did not get all the way through the book in my notes, so it's just sort of like this mishmash of general ideas. It's a mess. Okay, we talked about Farrah's pregnancy. Let's talk about an actual good part of the Nesta, Gwen, Emery of it all.
Okay.
It was really the highlight of the book. Their entire thing. It's like seeing those friendships be built and like how healing they were for each of them and like how supportive they were for each other. Because it's like the training did have its purposes. I disagree that the training happened in the way that it should have happened because it's like I said before, it's like this whole thing is a mess. The arrangement is a mess. But it's like it was beneficial for them. Because it like gave them so much self-confidence. It gave them the like physical training, the mind stilling, the like practical skills to help them feel safe in the world again. Mostly.
Yeah, but the whole thing is like, why wasn't something like this? The whole thing with that,
Mhm.
like, if you're gonna make this a whole regimen, why are you only offering it now with Nesta? Why haven't you done that in the past? You're just shoving these people into the library and saying, okay, you're good.
Which, that's another thing with the library. What all resources are happening there? Because Gwen says, oh, she's talking about one of the other girls, and she's like, oh, well, we've got these resources available. I don't know if she's taking part of them, but it's like, what resources exactly? What exactly is happening under here? Because it sounds like you work in the library all day, and then you've got church, and that they mention counselors like one time. It's like, what are the other resources?
Resources. Resources. But it's just Reese and different like mustaches and stuff he glues on his face to be the counselor. But I don't know.
Because Gwen talks about it at one point. It's like everyone there literally just stays under the mountain until they decide to either leave forever or they stay there for the rest of their lives. And it's just like, that does not sound entirely helpful or productive. It's like, it's great that they have this safe place, but it's like, if there's nothing propelling them, like actually allowing them to heal, it's like, you're just sort of enabling them to retreat and hide and avoid all of it, which is a trauma response that is just like not being addressed at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what goal they're working towards being there, and because like it's good that they feel safe, but I mean, here at the shelter, I mean, we want people to feel safe, but you're working towards goals to becoming independent, and like, are you truly independent if you were just like working in the library and going to church?
Yeah.
No. Like, yeah, you got something to do all day. You got something, honestly, to distract your mind,
but you're not addressing any of it.
It's raining again. So, yeah. Doesn't sound like those counselors, if they're really a thing.
Yeah.
Or doing
a
much.
whole lot. I do like the Valkyries though, and the like female empowerment of like, we're creating this new generation of Valkyries who are going to be like the next great warriors, which like their story's even better given that most of them are priestesses. It's like, this is what they've been through, and then they took that and turned it into strength and yada yada yada. I think that will be a compelling story going forward if we ever revisit it again. Hopefully that doesn't just get like dropped off to the wayside.
Probably will, though.
Probably. And it's like, this friendship with those two is really the first healthy relationship for Nesta. And Emery. I mean, Gwen had her sister, but it's like, Emery's family was a mess. Nesta's family, it's like, yes, she liked Elaine a little more, but she doesn't respect Elaine. Oh, puzzle time. No. But she doesn't respect Elaine, and...
Well, nobody respects Elaine.
And now that they're in a fight, she's pretty mean to Elaine the entire time, too, so... It's like, this is really her first healthy relationship, because we have established her and Cassian, not it. Oh, jumping back to Pharaoh's pregnancy. Why on earth did Nesta even agree to keep it a secret in the first place? If her thing at the start of this book was she was so upset that all of this was happening because she's never had a choice about anything in her life, and she's never gotten to decide anything.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're gonna hop forward,
Mm-hmm.
and you see Farrah's autonomy actively being ripped from her,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, that's fine.
Well,
I'm actually not gonna address that.
because
I'm on Reese's team. You don't need to tell her.
I think it just like I think that ties back to like the whole thing. I mean, like
Mhm.
it's I don't know, like I don't know how I want to word this. Like
Mhm.
why did they do anything with Feyre? She's their little sister. Like the
Mhm.
whole thing of like having her take care. I just think it's like this weird like I'm out for myself
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to do whatever and not take her into consideration. I don't know why she did what she did. I don't know why the Feyre, as the youngest of the whole family, was taking care of the entire family. But with that having already happened, I think that probably just whatever that whole motivation was.
Ooh. That's a big one.
Whatever that whole motivation was probably not the motivation behind that, because she's just gonna be like, I'm gonna keep this until I can use it. Maybe that was the whole thing. Is like I'm gonna use it until it's convenient for me.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go die on a hike.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wildly jumping again. What time is it?
River Valley Shelter. Yes. Okay. What were y'all planning? Mm-hmm. Give me one moment, okay? This is the people from the church that you were talking to about doing something with the kids for Easter.
I mean, just tell her we have 3 right now.
Mhm.
I mean, when's Easter?
The 20th.
The 20th?
Yeah.
She should be. I get they have to get supplies. Just tell her we have
We have 3 at the moment.
Yeah. How many family rooms do you have available?
We have one family room.
We have 1 family room right now?
We have 2 total, but only one's open.
Okay, so in case you get some change, I would just tell her to make enough for 8.
Okay. So currently we have 3.
No, just tell her currently we have 8.
Okay.
Aspen, did you hang up on her?
Are you still there? Are you still there? Yes. Okay, so currently we have 8 children. Yeah. Yeah.
Babies aged 12.
So mhm. Yeah, right now we've got a span, like an age span of like babies to 12. 12. Like babies to 12 years old. Yeah. Yelp.
Can you hang up already?
Correct.
Hello?
Correct.
Okay.
It,
Zoe!
It's very difficult, yeah. Yep. I mean, if you make baskets and the kids that we have currently are not here by Easter, then like we could distribute them to kids as they come in.
Okay. All right. So if we make 8 baskets, if someone maybe leave,
Yeah.
some come in, don't have
Yeah.
kids come in.
Yep.
Okay.
Even if it is a couple weeks after Easter, it would still be a nice gift for them.
Oh, okay. All right then. That's what I needed to know.
All right.
So when has to meet again? I think it's the 15th.
Okay.
If we just drop off at the retail shop would be fine.
Yes, that would be okay.
All right. Well, I just appreciate you helping me out a little bit. I do lose what to do. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay.
When she came to talk to me, it was in February and asked me how many kids we had, and I was like, girl, we have 3 right now, but it's going to be drastically different by the time Easter
knows what'll
rolls
happen.
around.
Love shelter logistics.
Mm-hmm. And I told her that then, I was like, if you want to be safe, make 10. Well, I'll just call closer to time.
Okay.
And she was like, it's really difficult to plan these things. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Just make a handful.
You either want to do them
Mhm.
or you do not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that break, mad phone call chaos, gives us a good, not segue to my next random point. Did you pick up on the parallels between Azriel and Nesta, or was I thinking too hard? Because they are, like, if you think about it, very similar, just in sort of like broad types. But it's like they are both treated very differently.
Well, yeah. Because, I mean, Azriel's very, very loved, and
Yeah.
Nesta's super hated.
Mhm. By both, like, the people in the books and by the fandom.
Yeah.
Like, people love Azriel, they hate Nesta.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's because of how they treat her in the books. And, like...
Because, like, realistically, they are not that different
No.
as characters.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's, like, Nesta's cruel, but so is Azriel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, he's nice to his friends,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like he literally tortures people.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like, Cassian even says, it's like he's cruelly competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's not great.
No.
Like, they're both very scary. They're hard to approach. They're not, like, super friendly. But Nesta's beloved.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, Nesta even points out that it's like, she and Azriel get along great because they're so similar.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
patriarchy.
Well, yeah, but I think that's the thing though, is like when, I mean, there's this whole thing, even outside of the book, like men who act like that are like very allotted, and they're like, they
Yeah.
are like seen as like, oh, like they're trying to provide, and like, oh, they're so great, and like women who try, like, or who are being like Nesta, like, oh, she's a bitch, fuck her, like,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Like, and it's, I don't know, like men in so many different aspects. I mean, like, oh, like a father went and picked his kid up McDonald's. Oh my gosh, what a good daddy got him dinner. It's so a little treat. Mom goes and gets kid McDonald's. Lazy. Why didn't you cook them dinner? So like, I just think it's like this, like men are like held to a different standard because like if it were, I mean, we can see with this. It's just like the opposite is not okay and it's not acceptable. And it's not cool tangent that involves this. It is you should not want to be with somebody who's an asshole to everybody else but you.
Yes.
Because but that is such a trope that's built up. It's like, oh my
Yes.
god, he's horrible to everybody, but he's amazing to me. And like,
Yeah.
you are going to put this man
Mm-hmm.
with your sister Elaine.
Mm-hmm. Well, not only that, but Reese is the same way.
Yeah.
Cassian's the same way.
Yeah.
It's like Cassian's more like charismatic, but it's
Mhm.
like anyone who's not in like their main circle is like, oh, Cassian, he's scary.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah, but like you're gonna put the dude who tortures people with your
Mhm.
sister, who like you all treat like a child,
yeah.
who you all think is like
Mhm.
so mentally unstable because being turned into Fae has like broken her mind,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be like, this is the guy for her.
Mm-hmm.
Coincidence. I told you somebody today because they looked at you funny. Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realize that voice was gonna come out today, so I apologize. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I don't get why they're not like, oh, let's put Elaine with like a golden retriever man.
Yeah. Someone nice. Someone like Lucian.
Yep.
Justice for Lucian. Once again, he's never gonna get a break.
No.
Ooh. Reminds me of random note in here. At one point, I think it's Nesta and Elaine are fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about the dad dying.
Mm-hmm.
And Nesta's saying, I feel so guilty because I feel like I should have been able to stop it. And Elaine is like, there's nothing you could have done to stop that.
Mm-hmm.
And Nesta says, there was silver around Elaine's eyes. And it's like, there's many points. It's like, it is established. Nesta's got this like silver flame in her eyes like
Mhm.
Amberyn had when she's like using her powers. So it's like, does Elaine's eyes also go silver when she's seeing, and we just like forgot to mention that in the last few books when she was having all her visions.
Mm-hmm.
And B, it's like, was she seeing something in that moment when she said that?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, the options are, if that's the case, that she either saw her dad die and was like remembering this future vision. Because like the thing with this year is that she sees the future,
Mm-hmm.
supposedly. So it's like she either saw him die and didn't say anything, and was like remembering this, and that brings it back, and it's like, oh well, there was nothing that could be done. It was the future. Saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Or we've got like an entirely different situation, and it's not just, oh, I can see the future, it's I can see all the timelines, and we've got like a Doctor Strange situation going on.
I feel like she'd probably make it that, honestly, just to make it more complicated and be like,
Mhm.
look!
Make it so complicated that nobody can figure out the rules anymore.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can figure out the rules now.
Yeah. We just need more books. I need answers. I'm gonna go through my random things, see if there's anything we need to talk about.
I'm sorry, I keep yawning. It's storming outside and I'm nap.
Same.
We only got 10 minutes left,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just like,
Talked about that.
because I feel like we've talked about these books
Mhm.
a lot, in this book a lot, in
Mhm.
every other book. When we're talking about it, because like we kept jumping ahead because
Mhm.
there was so much.
Mm-hmm. Because there's so much that like ties into each other.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about the ichification of Cassian. He does not talk about ladies nicely.
Mm-mm.
It's so dude bro, and it's like,
Mhm.
ugh.
Well, I think they were all dude bro, but then
Mhm.
like we've said, like they're all
Mhm.
just like, ooh, it's them. They're so
Yeah.
hot. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. It's like he talks about at one point how when they were younger, he, Reese, and Adriel would all be like having sex with different ladies in the same room at the same time, and it's just like, ew,
It's frat boy energy.
ew.
It's frat boy energy because it's like, ooh. they're going at it and they're like, high five, bro. Do you guys want to see what cool trick I can do? They make it a game. Let's see who's the most flexible. Jeez.
Okay, the Nesta Wolf analogy that they bring up multiple times in the book.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Because it annoyed me.
It annoyed you?
Well,
Explain,
what doesn't
explain.
explain?
Yeah.
It's like they refer to her as a wolf so many times, and it's like I put in here. It's like a quote: Nesta's family friends hadn't done anything to help them when they lost her fortune. Quote: So Nesta had become a wolf, armed herself with invisible teeth and claws, and learned to strike faster, deeper, and more lethally. Had relished it, and it's like, excuse me, what?
Mm-hmm.
Because girl literally did nothing when they lost their fortune.
Yeah, I can
What
see.
was the wolf doing?
I think that was more of like a generalization thing because she does
Mhm.
have teeth and claws. They're not invisible though. She
Yeah.
brings those things out.
Mm-hmm.
I think comparing her to
It's like she attacks people, but it's
yeah, but
zero.
like, yeah. I think comparing her and how she snaps to a wild animal because of
Mhm.
how they view her,
Mm-hmm.
it's
like
what
that
they're doing.
symbolism is nice. Yes, I get that. I see where that's going.
Mhm.
But it's like to be saying it's because they lost their fortune.
No, 'cause
it's
she
like,
didn't. She did
you
nothing.
didn't do anything.
No.
You were zero help to anyone the entire time.
Mm-hmm. But I think, because I mean, wild animals, like when they get cornered, they do snap, and I feel like a lot of times in this book, like her reacting that way because she is scared or because something is happening, is a somewhat accurate depiction because you don't need to back somebody who clearly is struggling into a corner because they are going to snap at you. They are going to act up.
Mm-hmm.
But saying it's because of that, I can see why you would be annoyed by that.
Yeah.
But I think
I do see where you're going.
yes,
I agree with that.
it could have
I
been
just
worded
got
better.
stuck up on this.
Yeah, it could have been worded better, but
It's like they'd bring up the wolf again, I'd be like, but she didn't do anything with the wolf.
but
She was useless.
I can see because like you don't want to like
Mhm.
corner a wild animal.
Yeah.
You don't want to corner something because like even if it's like just like your animal, like when
Mhm.
your animal's hurt, if you were trying to like go and comfort it or like it
Mm-hmm.
is going to act out, not because it wants to. And I think sometimes, and you see a lot of like her being confused on like why someone's reacting that way to her, but I think some of her stuff she doesn't even realize she's doing it, and like I don't think like a wild animal would.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize they're doing it. It's just a response because they're trying to protect themselves. I think a lot of what she does in her anger and all of this, is it
Mhm.
excusable? No, she needs to work through some stuff. She needs
Mhm.
a counselor.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the hurt and the things that she does is because of the trauma that she's been
Mhm.
through and because of all of the things. Did she help a lot with her trauma because she didn't help and do all these things? No.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, based off of circumstances.
Also, if there were counselors under the mountain for the priestesses,
Mhm.
why was one of Nesta's requirements for her, servitude not to go see a counselor? The girl needs it.
Yeah. I think Sarah didn't think of that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. I think if it was worded differently and
Mhm.
made into something like that, I think the depiction of her
Yeah.
snapping like a wild animal is
Mhm.
pretty accurate.
Yes. I will give you that. I'll give Sarah points there.
Don't give
Just-
Sarah the points, give me the points.
Okay.
'Cause
I'll
Sarah
give Zoe
didn't do
the
that.
points.
Sarah didn't do that. Because like they sat at home.
Mhm.
They sat at home. They did nothing. They made their
Mhm.
youngest sister learn how to do all these
Yeah.
things.
It's like, she's a wolf, she's a wolf, she's a wolf. It's useless. She's a lapdog.
Mm-hmm. The little angry chihuahua
Yeah.
that's always snapping. Don't go near Ginger. She's a little bitty. She'll gum you to death. I'm sorry.
Gum you to death. Okay, so a point that they come back to over and over and over again
Mhm.
is when Amryn tells Cassian that he needs to let Nesta dig her own grave and then offer her a hand and keep offering her a hand, even if she refuses.
Mhm.
But Amryn literally stopped offering her own hand.
Mhm.
It's like, you literally stopped offering to help her.
Mhm.
So it's like, why is it Cassian's job now? Also,
I
why are
think
you
part of
acting
that-
like this is sage advice when you have done nothing the entire book to help?
I think part of that's just like placating Cassian's
Mhm.
in their relationship, because maybe Amryn thinks like, oh, if I make him do
Mhm.
this, they'll maybe be nice to each other.
Maybe.
But I mean, the advice of like just keep making
Mhm.
sure you're there for this person, like I think that is like sound advice.
Yeah, it
Were
is
they
sound
doing-
advice.
Were they doing
My
that
beef is
in a
not with
healthy
the
way?
advice.
Yeah.
It's just that Amryn wasn't following it.
Yeah. Well, Amryn just kind of does her own thing.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. Like
Mhm.
Amryn is one of those people. Like she's not a very likable person sometimes, and they all
Like
just kind of
Ezreal and Nesta.
yeah, and they just kind of like, oh,
But
okay,
they're fine with
she's,
her.
She just does her own thing. So it's a whole other example,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, how did she? And maybe it's because they know like how like all
I think
powerful.
it's because she had like scarier powers than Nesta
Yeah.
does, and they were more scared of her. But it's like now she doesn't
Yeah.
have the powers,
Yeah.
so it's like, what's your excuse now? If anything, like Nesta's powers are
Mhm.
scarier.
Mhm. We got 5 minutes.
Okay. Talked about that. Trying to pick a good one. Because there was something else I wanted to talk about, but I just can't remember what it was. Where was it? I had a good point somewhere. Oh, okay. Can we talk about how everyone decided they needed to lock Nesta away because I can't see through the later page. She is being so self-destructive and drinking, gambling, and having sex to avoid her feelings. Even though Farrah and Reese literally use sex as a coping mechanism and to avoid their problems for multiple books, including this one.
Mhm.
And that they're so judgy about Nesta having sex with strangers. But when she's having sex with Cassian to cope and avoid things, it's fine. Because there's like multiple times in this book where her and Cassian have sex and she's like, I just need to be with him, I need to stop feeling, I need to stop thinking. And it's like, you're still doing the exact same thing that
Well, I
was the
think
problem behavior that got you here in the
part
first
of that-
place.
I think part of that's because they're like, oh, like Cassian's not gonna like. It's the consent part of it,
Mhm.
and like he will hopefully not do anything that's gonna like
Mhm.
scar her more because the consent's there. Do
Mhm.
do I think the whole thing's like healthy? No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. But I'm saying I think they're okay with it as long as it's Cassian, because it's
Mhm.
better than like a bunch of strangers who might take advantage of her in that vulnerable
Mhm.
state and not use consent and traumatize her even more. And
I don't know. I'd argue she's pretty traumatized by everything happening. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, there's consent, but it's like the horrible communication,
Yeah.
the mind games, the like power struggles that they're both like actively participating in.
I agree. I agree. But like
Mm-hmm.
with strangers, there could be like so much more, and like surprise pregnancy with a stranger, and like all of that. Even though it's supposed to be super hard for them to get pregnant, even though Feyre got pregnant after one time.
But it's like, I feel like so much more of it is not the like with strangers. It's the her using sex to cope that they all
Yeah.
get so upset with. Because even Elaine at one point, it's
Mhm.
like her and Nesta are arguing, and she's like, "Well, you have problems too, and nobody said we were gonna throw you away." And she's like, "Well, I wasn't having blah blah blah," and
Yeah.
it's like, you can just say it. You weren't having sex, and
Mhm.
it's like, then why is it fine when we're here?
Yeah.
Also, when everyone else does it.
I don't know.
Mhm.
It's not. I think it's just because it's Nesta.
Yeah.
But like, and then
Mhm.
I think it's more okay because it's Cassian, and like, yes,
Mhm.
even though there's like more trauma that could happen with strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay? No.
Yeah.
But you need to be safe. You don't need to be just like burying
Mhm.
everything with sex. But when everybody else is doing it, I guess whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Join the club.
Okay. Last thing that can be our kind of wild speculation to end the day. Gwen is talking about her past.
Mhm.
And she says that her mother was a priestess at Sangrava and took part in the Great Rite, and that's how her and her sister was born. But nobody ever found out who it was because no one ever showed up asking about twin girls.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, is the entire point of the Great Rite not that it's the High Lord that does this? So it's like, would it not just be the High Lord of wherever this temple is?
Yeah.
It's like, why are they acting like this is a
River
mystery?
Valley Shelter.
If she's a priestess, yeah, it would be a High Lord.
Uh-huh.
It would be the High Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Because it's like, we were born from
Hamlin.
this sacred act, and it's like, then where is this temple? I think I've got your answer.
Yeah. You know who your daddy is. It's
Mhm.
Tamlin. Well, they are. They're kids. It would be Tamlin. No, well, maybe
Is that
not Tamlin.
well? Because
There's
they
that
said
temple
that they every High Lord does this. So
Yeah.
it's like wherever this is, it would be the High
Well,
Lord.
we've met all the High Lords, so.
Uh huh.
Oh no.
So that means Gwen is probably
Loose.
going to play a larger role in this story at some point.
Luce, this is your sister.
Mhm.
Surprise.
Because she does have red hair.
Mm-hmm.
Is it in the Autumn Court?
Maybe.
I don't remember where they said it was.
We're gonna have to look that up
Mm-hmm.
for next time.
Yeah. On our book that isn't ACOTAR, it's like, hey, we need to address this again.
Speaking of our book that's not ACOTAR, what is it? Because we've been doing way too much ACOTAR.
We're finally reading something else that'll probably infuriate the internet more than
Yeah.
we just roast ACOTAR.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called? Men Who Hate Women? Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yep.
By Laura Bates.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna look at incels online.
Yep. It's gonna be great.
That won't upset anyone at all.
No.
No.
Because we
one.
don't get enough comments saying, you
Yeah.
just hate men.
Hopefully TikTok's still here though.
Mhm.
It's supposed to go away tomorrow.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, but we'll
That's
see.
what I said.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But
It's like we all
Yeah.
got up in arms last time, and then it's
now
like,
nobody's saying anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird.
it's like, I don't believe it.
Mm-hmm. Okie dokie.
But
Yeah.
goodbye if we never see you
Yeah,
again.
we love you guys.
Yeah. It was wonderful being here. I hope we still exist.
Follow us on
Monday.
Instagram
Yes.
Yes.
And YouTube.
and YouTube. I always forget about the YouTube.
And Facebook. And wait, is that all of them?
Go to our
Technically,
website.
We've got to Lemonade, but I don't
Yeah,
post
we
on
don't
it.
post on Lemonade. Well, Lemonade would go away too.
Yeah.
We'll make a red
Mhm.
note.
Make a Red Note. It's so good. Join me on Red Note.
We can go use the, the Creative Hub here in Russellville to go make
Mhm.
our own podcast. Because they have podcasting equipment.
Ooh.
Oh, is that Brainstorm Academy
Whatever that is over
Mhm.
there. Where
over on
the-
Main Street?
on Arkansas.
Oh, the
Casey's?
new one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
They've
I
got
haven't been
podcast
over there.
equipment and all of that over there.
Well, let's go start a podcast if we
Yeah.
lose TikTok. We'll have all this time to fill.
Mm-hmm. They probably would. We could be like, oh, we're
Mhm.
donating to a nonprofit. Here you go. It'd be fine.
All right. I think that's the gist of my notes.
Bye,
All
guys.
Bye, guys.
Hopefully we see you again,
Yes.
TikTok. Bye.
Bye. See you Monday, hopefully.